Hello, fight fans. Seattle Mike here. Everybody, hit that like button unless you think a rear naked choke is a genre on Pornhub. Make sure you're subscribed and act like you've been here before, guys. Come on. Francis Ngannou versus Ciryl Gane. Chael Sonnen was right in saying that he thinks this should be the biggest MMA heavyweight fight of all time. I don't think it's going to do the numbers of that, though. I don't think it's going to do Brock Lesnar versus Alistair Overeem, let's say. It should. I'm very intrigued by this matchup. You have Francis Ngannou, an absolute powerhouse, against Ciryl Gane, who came from kickboxing, is an incredible striker, has shown he can stop takedowns, is super technical, and he's trained with Francis. Now, everybody knows by this point about the contract negotiations, the fallout basically between Francis Ngannou and the UFC and Dana White. Dana White saying, hey, yeah, you can go wherever you want, but wait a second. If you win, we still got you for one more fight because of the championship clause. And basically the way I understand the championship clause is you win one fight, you get signed for another fight and another fight and another fight until basically you have to relinquish the belt and step down or lose to get out of the contract, which is the only issue I have with the UFC on this. Other than that, I think the UFC has handled this great for the most part. They're not talking smack about Francis. I know that the interim heavyweight belt rubbed him the wrong way a little bit, but it has been a year since he won the belt. He has not defended it once. So I really think the UFC is within their rights to do everything that they've done, except for I just don't like the championship clause. I don't like it at all. Francis Ngannou thinking he can get more money out there. Recently, he's called out Tyson Fury. Online, he's called out Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. Just a few days ago, right after having dinner with Dana White, by the way, they actually just bumped into each other while they were having dinner. Dana said they had a very good conversation. I have not heard Francis's side of it. Long story short, Francis needs to trade in his snow shovel for a snow plow. If he's going to get into boxing, if he's going to leave the UFC and make more money than what he's going to make in the UFC, he's going to have to do a lot more legwork to promote. The UFC, I believe, should also be doing more legwork right now. Dana White, this is a huge fight. It feels like some of the only people that are really promoting this is Chael Sonnen and myself with the giveaway that we've talked about during that pay-per-view. And we'll talk about that more in other videos. That's not what we're here to talk about. We're actually here to talk about, I had a conversation on the phone with my dad the other day. And he talked about how he's snowed in. He had over 3 feet. He lives up in the mountains in Walla Walla, Washington, in the Blue Mountains, way up there. They had over 3 feet of snow. And I mean, they were just really snowed in. So the snowplow came up there, and a lot of times, he tells me, the snowplow doesn't get up there until everything's melted or until way after. They were very expedient this time. In the past, they have also came through and they'll plow in their cars, they'll plow in their driveway. Sometimes they're actually almost more of a hindrance than they are a help. This guy that came this last week not only plowed the road perfectly, he didn't plow my parents' vehicles in, he didn't plow the driveway in, and he also actually went above and beyond and went into their driveway. My dad said it probably took him about an extra 10 minutes. Came into the driveway and actually cleared out his driveway up to the vehicle to help him be able to get out. That was very cool of him, in my opinion. And I'm not telling you this story just to ramble on. What I'm telling you this story is right now, Francis Ngannou, he's got a couple of tweets on Twitter. He took the poster picture of him and Ciryl Gane and re-uploaded it to his Twitter and, said something else about, I'll be fighting Cyril Gahn and happy holidays and, a few things. So he's got a snow shovel out. He's got a snow shovel. He's doing the minimum. But if he's going to make the kind of money that he thinks he deserves or thinks that he's going to get outside of the UFC, and I happen to know he's getting well over $10 million for this next fight. It could be significantly more, but I know it's over $10 million for Francis if it does the amount of pay-per-views that it's projected to do, which is over $1 million. So a lot of boxers don't make that. Gervonta Davis recently on his pay-per-view, he made $1 million. And people talk about how, boxers get paid so much more. And yeah, some of the top guys do. But that's neither here nor there. If Francis is going to make more money and Cyril Gahn in the UFC, all these guys are going to make more money. You have one of the most compelling fights in the history of the heavyweight division. I would argue maybe the most compelling, definitely the most compelling since Stipe versus Francis won. Cyril Gahn, a guy that has trained with Francis Ngannou, he says he's got the best of him. He sent in some videos. Francis says, oh, those were edited to make me look bad. It could be. And training is not a fight. And there are a lot of guys that train together and have trained together, and everybody in the training camp thinks the fight's going to go one way, and it doesn't go that way at all. It's not even close, and everybody's shocked. We've seen Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns. That was a recent example. You go back further to Tim Sylvia and Randy Couture, but there's a lot of examples of this in MMA. Regardless, if Francis Ngannou is going to get that kind of money, he's got to get out the snowplow. Those couple tweets, he's shoveling a little snow. He's got a whole forest to take out with that snow shovel. I know he's a big dude, but good luck. You're not going to get above where you are with the UFC with that snow shovel in hand. You're not going to find a better promoter in combat sports than Dana White. None of these boxing promoters are doing what Dana White's doing for their fighters. And say what you will about Don King. I can't stand the guy as a person. I think most of the ridicule he gets is 100% deserved. But that guy could sell a fight. And if he were promoting, if he was in there, he could promote Francis Ngannou. He might steal all his money, but he could promote Francis Ngannou. And he could sell the fights, and he could get millions of pay-per-views. I thoroughly 100% believe that. Dana White has the power promotion. Now you have ESPN, you have Disney. This guy from Cameroon is so marketable. His story, the way that he, tried to escape where he was at, got caught 7 times, almost died several times, literally grew up shoveling sand. I don't know who the management is that's talking to him, but they are not going to build a bigger pot of money than Dana White is in the UFC. So Francis, if you're listening, if you're watching this, if somebody sent this to Francis, I think you're making a mistake leaving the UFC, but if you're planning to go somewhere else to make more money, and I do only have one idea, and I'll make another video on this. I have one idea about how Francis could make this a positive, and I would just say it's a hybrid idea. But buddy, you're going to have to do more than 2 tweets on Twitter about this fight. You're going to have to grab a snowplow. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses next time.